Hi, welcome back. Shane Simpson with you here from Ottawa, Canada. This is RutBuster video number 3, and this will be a jazzy kind of blues in G. I think you'll like this if you've been playing just straight blues for a long time. We'll add some jazz sensibility to that, some chords that may be unfamiliar to you, and hopefully you pick something up out of this. Let me give you an idea where we're going. Here's a blues, and I'll pop it on here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here it comes. We're around the top again. So a 12 bar in G, but different. It's a 12-8 kind of a feel. People think of 12-8 differently, I've found, and it's really like, it's a slow blues. So instead of thinking 1, 2, 3, you break it up into almost a triplet feel. You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 counts of 6, or 4 counts of 3. Or I guess 12 counts of 1, for that matter. That could work. So what we got here, looking right at your transcription, a G7th in there. I'm using a kind of, I'll call it a non-committal G7th here, where we've got just a G note, an F note, and a B note here with your pinky. I like that fingering. I think that's kind of an important fingering for you. If that's new to you, it'll lead to other things down the line. So even if it feels unfamiliar at first, go with that. Sliding in just to be cool. So we got boom, G7. And in bar 2, we're going to hit a C7. I'm going to use a C ninth in this case. Standard idea. It's this guy right here. Yeah, that can be a tough little smear over there with your ring finger if that's new to you. We've got a C note, an E note, and then a B flat, a D, and a G. And just like smeared them across. And I'm approaching that guy from a half a step. So I'll go from the G7 in bar 1. Right here. You'll hear that all the time. I'm going to bar 3, I'm going to go 1 fret below that G7 that we started out with and slide into that G7. So that's 1 fret below, technically an F sharp, 7th chord, and dragging it up to a G7th chord. There we go. Now we have a couple of bars to kill on this G7, so to create some motion, I don't just want to sit there for 2 bars, that's for sure, in a slow blues. I'm going to run up to this chord here. I'm going to go very slowly. Here we got, that's an A note, an F sharp note, and a C note. And check out that fingering. I'm going to go back to this G7 here for a sec. Like that. I'm going to drag the whole thing up 1 fret and then replace my first finger with my ring finger here on the 5th fret. I'm going to take this guy off because I don't need him anymore. And boom. If you followed other RutBuster videos, I think it was number 1. It's really G7th. We've got to create some motion here, so we're going to go to its 5th, which is D7th in this case. So we've got D7. That's a D7 with an A in the bottom. That's all that is, A in the bass. And you can do that all day long. It sounds G7-ish. Just flip over to that D7/8 just to create some motion in that. And then in bar, where are we at? In bar number 5, we're heading to C9. So I'm going to approach him from a half step above, 1 fret above that guy. So D flat 9th, C9. Now this is a neat move. On the C9, I'm going to play C9, go up a fret, and then play C 9th again, but at the 13th here. And you get that lovely melody doing this, going, chromatic melody going. Yeah, so you get some contrary motion going there too. So C9, D flat 9 really, and then C 13th. And I'm going to approach the upcoming G in the next bar with, excuse me, I missed one. Bop, bop. And I'm going to go to a C sharp diminished 7th chord here, and the latter half of bar 6 here. There we go. And now that sounds awkward until you get back to G7th. He's dying to get back there. There we go. And then we're heading to, now this is one of the big differences between a standard blues, a rock blues, whatever you want to call it, traditional blues, and a jazz blues. The jazz blues typically goes to the 6th chord, and 6 in the key of G is an E. So we're going to go to E7th. It's a dominant chord, E7th. In this case, I'm going to choose E7 sharp 9. affectionately known as the Hendrix chord to a lot of us. So we're going to E7 sharp 9. Get a good look at that guy. Right on. And the hand, that is in bar number 8. And I'm going to a B flat 7 flat 5 in the latter half of that bar. And that's called a tritone substitution. Being a RutBuster video, we don't want to talk too much about what's going on with that. Just learn it, play it, and enjoy it. So again, top of bar 8, it's going E7 sharp 9 to a B flat 7 flat 5. And that's dying to go to this next A minor 7. Again, something different about the Jazzy Blues in G. It's going to the 2 chord here, which your traditional blues doesn't typically go to. It's going to the 2 chord, and the key of G is an A minor 7. And then it's going to go to D. I'm going to go to D9. D9, which is the same as our C9. That's your 5 chord, and that is in bar number 10. And we could do all our cool stuff. We could reuse that idea that we had in bar number 5 on the C9. Just D9, bring up a fret, back you go. Add the pinky, is a D13, and I'm going to go to its tritone sub, which is an A flat 7 flat 5. The names are horrific, I realize. And now we're in turnaround country here in the last 2 bars, bars 11 and 12. I'm going to go from our G7 to an E7 sharp 9, B flat 7 flat 5, A minor 7, D9, and to A flat 7 flat 5, and we're back to the top of the chart, which is a G. Right. Let's see if we can put all that in motion and maybe throw some other ideas at you. So here's our drummer coming in here. 1, 2, 3, oh, here we go. And C9. Approach the G7 from 1 fret below. A little bit of motion. Here's your approach to C9. Diminished. Here's your 6 chord. B flat 7 flat 5. A minor 7. Approach to D. Turn around. And we're at the top of the chart again. Now, ideas abound. It's infinite what you can do on that. If you check back to RutBuster video number 1, I believe it was, where we're having we took an A minor 7th chord. We had all these different ways to connect it. In bar number would be bar number 9. There's an A minor 7. I'm going to take one of those ideas, A minor 7, like that. That's one of your inversions. I'm going to go to an A minor 9, then to the D13. And get a little melodic phrase going to go before I enter into that turnaround. I'm going to go. Top of the chart again. So trying to connect all this material for you. I hope that makes sense. We've got A minor 7. I'm going to add a pinky here just for melodic content, and then over to an A minor 9, then to your D9 there, and head into a G7. That guy there. Infinite variety. Let me play it again one more time, and I'll leave it to you. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, G. Approaching the C. Approaching the G7 from below. Here's that 5. Approaching C9. Here's a little chromatic move. Approaching G7. E7 sharp 9. A minor 7. D9. Turn around. A minor 7. Yeah, and pardon me if I finger them slightly differently every time. It depends, like on that B flat 7 flat 5. If I'm not going to use that B string, I'll tend to just play the lower part of that chord. But no different fingerings. A cool thing you can do on turnarounds, just very quickly, we'll keep these videos short. A G7th, and the last 2 bars, bars 11 and 12. Yeah, we're going from G7 to an E7 sharp 9 here. I'm going to approach that by a dominant chord just one fret above that. In this case, an F9. that guy there, and walk into that E7 sharp 9. Notice you're retaining that same melody note. It's a common tone. It's a very nice thing to do. So G7, F9, and then go to that tritone substitution, or flat 5 sub, whatever you want to call it, which is B flat 7 flat 5. Gives you a lot of motion, a lot of dialogue going there. A minor 7, and I'll run up to an E flat 9th, which is only one fret above your destination, which is D9 or D13 if you can get that pinky over. And then to your A flat 7 flat 5, and to G7. So that turnaround could be there. I figured it a little differently, that A flat. So if this is new to you, I hope you really enjoy it. We'll keep these short now. I'll connect this to the another video called Just Licks, series called Just Licks. This will be, if you look for part 2, we'll throw some ideas on it. It'll address some of those new chords for you if that is indeed new to you. So look for Just Licks videos, part 2, and we'll have 5 or 6 ideas where you can navigate those chord changes. Anyway, thanks for coming back, and all the best to you. See you soon.